Hi, it's Priscilla. I am back with another chapter from Women Who Run with the Wolves. This is chapter 7, The Joyous Body, the Wild Flesh. I know I say a lot that one chapter or another is my favorite chapter, but I think they're all my favorite chapter in different ways. For instance, this particular chapter I love because it just kind of hit home. You know, this particular chapter is talking about body image issues. You know, you grow up, it can be in school or it can be from home. You're faced with all these words, you hear people say stuff on TV, and then you develop an image for yourself on how you should see yourself. And in this chapter, Dr. Pinkola is helping you to accept yourself as you are, love yourself as you are, zero judgment, and I love that. So let's jump in. In my book, the first chapter or the first page that I took a portion from was page 201, and it's titled Body Talk. She and another coach, her name is Opolanga, who is very tall, and she said tall like a yew tree. Okay, let me go ahead and read. Opolanga is very tall like a yew tree and as slender. I am built close to the ground and of extravagant body. In addition to being mocked for being tall as a child, Opolanga was told that the split between her front teeth was the sign of being a liar. I was told that my body shape and size were the signs of being inferior and having no self-control. So I dropped down to the bottom of the page. Opolanga, she went back to Gambia in West Africa, and as she talked to the people there who looked just like her tribe, as she talked to them, they said that the split, they explained to her that it meant an opening to God and that it was understood as a sign of wisdom. So here it is, when she went amongst the people who looked just like her, she found a different explanation for the split between her teeth. And it was an explanation that didn't humiliate or make her feel less than. I thought that was beautiful. And as for Dr. Pinkola, for her, she went to a tribe in Mexico, and when they saw her, and as she said, extravagant in size, when they saw her, they said, are you sick? Why aren't you heavier? So I thought that was pretty cool. That she was talking about when she ran into her group, her tribe, they didn't think she was heavy enough. All right, let's turn on to page 203. Instead, harsh judgments about body acceptability create a nation of hunched over tall girls, short women on stilts, women of size dressed as though in mourning, very slender women against the natural body, encouraging women to turn their attentions to a constant monitoring of body, thereby robbing them of deeper and finer relationships with their given form. Angst about the body robs a woman in some large share of her creative life and her attention to other things. I like this particular passage because, if you feel confident about your body or you accept it as it is, then you can move on and focus on other things. But if you're self-conscious about the way you look, the way other people perceive you, you're going to always be obsessed about changing it to fit what other people say is beautiful. I think our country has an explosion in plastic surgeons and all these women with butt implants, boob implants, lip implants. That just speaks to them not feeling enough, or just feeling this pressure to be different. I guess, be accepted by people who have the audacity to say that they're not enough. And that's not fair, because there should be other things that take our focus, take our energy, other things other than our body. And that it's pretty sad just to become so obsessed with how other people feel about you that you transform yourself, through surgery or starvation or whatever. Let's go on to page 206. Some say the soul informs the body. But what if we were to imagine for a moment that the body informs the soul, helps it adapt to the pen with which the soul can write upon our lives? Suppose, as in fairy tales of the shape changers, the body is a god in its own right, a teacher, a mentor, trying to poof themselves out like adders, and various other women in hiding. Destroying a woman's instinctive affiliation with her natural body cheats her of confidence. It causes her to persevere about whether she is a good person or not, and bases her self-worth on how she looks instead of who she is. It pressures her to use up her energy worrying about how much food she consumes or the readings on the scale and tape measure. It keeps her preoccupied, colors everything she does, and plans and anticipates. It is unthinkable in the instinctive world that a woman should live preoccupied by appearance this way. I thought that this passage was pretty profound, especially the part where it says hunched over tall girls. I've even noticed, when people are taking group photos, you'll see the super tall person. I guess that was even mean to say super tall person. You'll see the tall person bend over to kind of match the height of the other people. Or you'll see a person who is not as tall, like, where does she say, wearing stilts, will wear these 6-inch or 8-inch stilettos, or if you're heavy, you'll find there was a time where you just put on black because it made you look slimming, all these things that people have pressed upon you, making you feel like you have to find a way to diminish yourself. Let's go on to page 204. Yet, suffice it to say that various practitioners of psychology continue to hand down this bias. The body is not marble. This is not its purpose. Its purpose is to protect, contain, support, and fire the spirit and soul within it. To be a repository for memory, to fill us with feeling. That is the supreme psychic nourishment. It is to lift us and propel us, to fill us with feeling, to prove that we exist, that we are here, to give us grounding, heft, weight. It is wrong to think of it as a place we leave in order to soar to the spirit. The body is the launcher of those experiences. Without body, there would be no sensations of crossing thresholds. There would be no sense of lifting, no sense of height, weightlessness. All that comes from the body. All that comes from the body. The body is the rocket launcher. In its nose capsules, the soul looks out the window into the mysterious starry night and is dazzled. I like the idea that she brought up as looking at the body. Oh, let me see. Some say the soul informs the body. Looking at it where there is a spirit or an entity within us that tells the body how to behave, that tells the body how to exist, move forward. I think that's pretty interesting. I think that that's something worth pondering longer. 208. It is in this light that the wildish woman can inquire into the pneumosity of her own body and understand it not as a dumbbell that we are sentenced to carry for life, not as a beast of burden, pampered or otherwise, who carries us around for life, but a series of doors and dreams and poems through which we can learn and know all manner of things. In the wild psyche, body is understood as being in its own right one who loves us, depends on us, one to whom we are sometimes mother and who is sometimes mother to us. The idea that we as humans, they see us as, or within her take, within Dr. Pinkola's take, sees us as spirit and body, two different beings working together, and if in unison, the goal would be to accomplish a particular goal. I think that's pretty powerful. Just as obviously, yeah, you need your body to continue on this earth, and the body needs the spirit to grow and connect with the earth. So the final passage that I've chosen is on page 213. Wild woman shows up in many sizes, shapes, colors, and conditions. Stay awake so you can recognize the wild soul in all its many guises. In closing, I want to say chapter 7, I think more than anything, it's about us accepting our body as it is, appreciating our bodies as they are, taking the time to nourish our spirit, our mind, our soul, just taking care of us and realizing how important our soul is to our body and our body is to our soul. Don't just live for your body, live for your soul as well. Thank you so much for coming back for another video. This one was a little sobering, only because I've always been heavy set, and since I was a little girl, I was called fat or whatever, greedy, just these weird things that, a kid shouldn't be called, but, people play with words as a form of control. I'm learning as an adult to accept my body more, to nourish my mind before I seek out to nourish my body, just so that I don't eat for comfort. You know what I'm saying? So comfort my mind so that food doesn't become the comfort, so that food is the nourishment, the sustenance, and not the crutch. All right, I do hope you got something from this video. If you're not already subscribed, please do so now. And I look forward to sharing more videos with you in the future. Bye.